Rose Young. This is her pen name that she uses. She has worked in radio. She has worked, had a big business with printing and worked at a college and different things like this. And today she's going to share with us the story of her birth. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy these. Plug into these when you hear Rose Young is on. Come on over. You're going to enjoy these. Okay. Um, so, Mom, this is my mom. So let's begin now. Back when you were born, it was before the hospitals were people were born in hospitals. Am I correct?
Most of the people who were in those days, they had their babies at home. They
Okay.
either had midwives or midwives, or they had somebody that knew how to do that, how to deliver the baby. But sometimes even the doctor would come to their home. They did it different ways. But when my mother, I was number one with my family as far as the birth. When I was born, a couple years after my parents were married,
We're
I
we're
was born. The doctor had told there was something not right with my birth. So he had them come to the Allentown Hospital in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We only lived about 10 miles away from there. And so they told my mother and father that to bring me there when the birth time came, because there was going to be some kind of problem and they weren't quite sure those days. They didn't have all this where you could look inside and everything. But they knew there was some kind of problem, and so they told me to my mother to have me there. So I was there and I was born. And when I was born, they found out that I needed blood. I don't know exactly the level of the story. It was 1930, December 1930, and they didn't have a lot of the things that they have today, but they knew I had blood transfusions to come. And they had to do some blood transfusions for me. So I had several blood transfusions, and I even had a scar in my right arm inside the elbow where you would see it. Inside my elbow, you can see where they had to dig and open my body to put the blood in. And I was so tiny. I was only born. I wasn't even 1 day old. And they did not expect me to live that day. But they tried to work on that. That's why they were giving me blood to see if they could help me to live. And I did live. And now I'm 85 and a half years old. And I did live. I'm very healthy. I do all my own housework. I do all my own bills and take care of all the things that I have to do. I can cook and I can clean up after my dishes and I can take care of myself. But I wanted to tell you that when I was born, first of all, I needed blood. My right eye was actually closed. My bottom lip was real big and swollen. And I had a birthmark on my right side of my face starting at my ear out a little bit. It wasn't a bright red mark. It was more of a marble looking, but it was red. And I had those three things happen when I was born. So they had to do different things with me. My mother had to hold a block of something against my temple to make my eye open up. And she did that. And then they went, I don't know what to do about my lip, but my lip was okay. And by the time I was in first grade, my eye was open, my lip was healed, and the mark on the side of my face was gone.
and
And all that happened before first grade. So I always felt like the Lord told the doctor what to do for me, and so that I was able to live. And like I said, I lived 85 years. And so I have a good life. I can do all my own housework, and I do have a good time. I take care of myself every day, and I have a nice place to live. And so then I have a whole other story where I found out how I met my husband. So we'll let that for another day.
I
But
definitely, you guys are going to definitely want to hear this. This is a divine appointment. It's just so wild. And Clay and I have a story like that too that we're going to share sometime. But you guys are going to love it. It's really great. I was going to say too that it's funny because now, as you can hear, my mom, who is Rose Young, her pen name, she had scars and different things, but she actually went on to do some modeling and did some different things. She's been in pictures that have gone on around the world and everything else. And pretty amazing that she had such a rough start. of course, we believe it was the hand of God on her, but taking care of her as that little baby, giving the doctor wisdom and helping her. But so you do your own housework. She had 7 children. She was married 50 years. And were your sisters born in the hospital?
I was down at 59 years.
Oh, I'm sorry, got it wrong. Were your sisters born in the hospital?
Was I right?
Were your sisters born in the hospital?
No, neither of them were.
They were both born at home.
I have 2 sisters, one's 10 years younger and one's 6 years younger. And they were both born at home after I was born. But in 1930, a lot of mothers had their babies at home. And they didn't go to the hospital. But the doctor evidently told my parents that I needed to be, my mother needed to be at the hospital because I was not supposed to even live that day. I was going to be born and maybe I wouldn't even live that day. Another thing I thank the Lord for is that I had parents that were really good to me. I really appreciate my parents. They took us to church and we were young children. I remember one time I was 5 years old and I was in church and I was in the children's choir. And I had on a white gown with a big red ribbon on my neck. And I was singing in the children's choir. But I even kind of remember some of the songs that we sang and we sang in church. It was just a small children's choir. I went to a good sized church, maybe about 200 people. It wasn't really big, but it was 200 people maybe. And it was just a lot. I can think of this how cute that was with the scraping white gown on. And then I think that's on my neck. So that's about it for me, Lucy.
Well, I just want to share this too before I let you go. I just want to say that Rose has done a lot of things in her life, meaning my mom. She has, hopefully we can get her to do some singing, tell us some of her good Pennsylvania Dutch recipes. She's got some funny stories that'll make you roll out of the floor, and some stories that might make you cry, but for the most part, they all have good endings because of her faith in the Lord. But I hope you guys enjoy this. Please like, subscribe. Thank you so much, Mama, for doing these. I know I begged you and begged you and begged you to do these with me, so I am thankful that you're allowing me the honor to let you do these. So, guys, like, subscribe, and we have a lot to learn from our parents. And I'm 53 and I'm still learning. So God bless, guys. Like, subscribe, thumbs up for my mom, and we'll see you in the next video.